All right, and we are live. Welcome once again to the J&J podcast, episode 11. This is DJ Academic's favorite new podcast, and we are live both on Instagram and we are live on YouTube. And we're going to do about 10 minutes on Instagram, then we're going to come live on YouTube. Justin, very conveniently, went to go grab another girl that was at his door, so he'll be right back. So let me have Salo introduce yourself real quick. Give me your name, age, occupation, and relationship status, please.
Oh my God. Okay. So I currently have a boyfriend whom I live with.
And your name is?
My name is Jasmine. We
Okay.
met in the motorcycle
We'll
vibe.
go over how we all know each other here in a minute, but
And occupation, I do quality assurance in IT.
very cool. Very cool. Nikki, can you hear us okay?
Oh, they can't hear me because I'm
Oh.
muted on this thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, don't mute your microphone, but all right, Nikki, just so you know, well, you're on Instagram, so I couldn't hear you on YouTube. Anyway, Nikki, please, understand we have a bit of a celebrity joining us today. Nikki, why don't you introduce yourself? Let us get your name, where people can find you. Also, if you would, your age, occupation, and relationship status.
I can't hear Nikki.
Yeah, because your Instagram's muted.
Oh,
No, because she's only on Instagram.
These are the perils of a live show, guys. We apologize.
that's why it comes out better when we're just on YouTube.
Right. Okay. So why don't we do this? Well, no, we got to hang out on Instagram for a little bit longer. So anyway, Nikki, in a minute we're gonna play on YouTube one of the snippets from your video. But Justin, in the meantime, why don't you introduce the lovely lady sitting to your right?
So to my right, this is my friend Penny.
Hello, Penny.
Hey, Penny.
Penny's a longtime friend of mine. We met like over 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and Nikki is also friends with Penny.
Very cool.
Actually, you guys can't see
I think you can see me.
Penny over here.
There she is. Guys, if you're on Instagram, feel free to go to either Justin or my profile story, or actually, I think the ladies all shared it on their stories as well. There's a live YouTube link right on there if you want to go on there. Okay. Sorry, Justin. Continue.
Got you. All right, so me and Joelle had an idea that we've been trying to make a little episode about, and it was basically, can men and women be friends?
Okay, so
And
hang on. Let's start here. Let's go around the room. Everybody give a yes or no answer. Can men and women be friends? Nikki, we'll start with you.
can you hear them at all?
No.
What did she say? Of course. I think she said of course.
That's right. You have to explain your definition of friends, right? Like,
Okay.
does it mean
Can
sex ever, or did you have sex and you're still cool, or does it mean
no
that
sex doesn't count. We're talking platonic friendship.
like can men and women coexist without having sex ever?
They can coexist, but can they be good friends like somebody who you'd show up at 2 in the morning at their house with a dead body in your trunk?
Right, but I'm asking like without ever having sex for never. Like,
Correct, because then at that point it no longer is going to be a platonic regular friendship. At that point, it's a past sexual relationship, which perhaps has stayed friendly.
go your definition. Yeah. But
Okay, well, let's assume your definition then. In your definition, can men and women be friends?
absolutely.
Okay, Salo, let's go on for you. Can men and women be friends?
In my definition, yes.
Okay. How about you two sitting over there?
Of course, 100%.
Justin?
I believe absolutely.
So I'm the only no. Oh, this is
Yeah.
going to be a fun episode tonight.
Yeah. You're the only no.
I mean, it's interesting. I know like everybody in the manosphere and everybody in like dating coach world and this whole dating dynamic. most people will say, well, most men on this side will say no. But I will
Mhm.
strongly disagree on this point because look at what we have here. That's why I brought all my friends. Salo's my friend. I got
Sure.
Penny and obviously Nikki.
Okay, well, I got some questions for you later, Justin. So we'll get to that.
I'm gonna take a second. Joelle, I just sent you
Yep.
something. Send me the link for the StreamYard so I can send it over to Penny because she can't hear me right now.
Okay, I'm gonna email it to you. Does that work?
No, if you can text it, that'd be amazing.
Okay, I don't know if I can do Instagram Live and text at the same time, but I will try.
Joel, Justin brought
I'm sorry.
Justin
I
brought
know
Ebony.
Nikki's talking, but I can't make out what she's saying.
It's so
I'm
crazy
sorry.
because we all have this
Yeah.
muted, Nikki, so there's no feedback. Can you hear what Nikki's saying at all?
I can hear everybody else, like, because I hear through here, but I can't hear what Nikki's saying.
Isn't it big because she's only on Instagram and not
It
Yes.
on
is.
the?
It is. It absolutely is.
So after we get off Instagram, Nikki's gonna log on to the YouTube live,
Yeah.
and then she'll
And guys,
continue with us here.
if you're watching on YouTube, please go ahead and hit the like button. We are trying to solve these couple problems so we can get all the lovely ladies on the live. And I can hear myself through your headphones, Justin. This is
It's
great.
probably me.
Oh, this is fantastic. All right. I actually say, Justin, we log off Instagram and I say we log off Instagram and go live just on YouTube. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think we should do that, guys. Like I
Yeah.
said, check out my story. There's a clickable link. We're all gonna be there. All the audio is gonna be perfect. Join us there. Nikki, we're gonna send you the link and just log in, and then we'll all be in together.
Can I
All
do
right.
What did you say?
that for
Okay, I'm gonna send it to your
You
phone.
can do that from your phone, yes. If that was the question. All right. Thank you all. Please check out our stories. Come check us out on YouTube.
Later, guys.
All right. All right. So we're gonna get everybody here. All right. Juan Diaz says, here's another vote for yes, but it's tricky.
Yo,
Very tricky.
send Nikki the link.
Yep, sending it now. I
All
already
right.
sent it to her, but I'll send it to her
So
again.
I'm gonna send this to Penny.
All right. Again, guys, we apologize. These are the perils of a new podcast that goes live. Let me send that link.
All right, so I'm clicking on this.
Squeeze in front of you.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
going.
Yeah, so click in there. Enter studio.
All right.
Put your name.
So, Salo, in the
Yes.
meantime, let's actually, no, because we didn't go through. Sorry, you said your name was Penelope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Penelope, sorry, let's do the proper introduction. Let's have you go through the your name,
Okay.
occupation, age, and relationship status, please.
Okay. Oh, that sounds weird. 'Cause I hear like an echo. Is that normal?
Do you?
If we don't hear an echo on the live stream, so if you
Okay.
can bear with it, possibly that'll help.
Okay, cool. So I'm 31. I'm a hospitality worker. So right now I'm serving, bartending,
Okay.
doing private events, and I'm currently single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Hopefully we'll get Nikki here in just a minute. All right. So, Justin, you seem to have a lot of female friends, right?
Hold on 1 second. Mute your mic on the phone. Right there. Can
I
you?
That'll
feel
help.
like you don't give the same credit if they're single.
Yeah.
Is this better now?
Okay,
Talk
so
for a second.
Salo, you are actively
Oh
in a
yeah,
relationship, and shout out to Gabe. I have met him. He's a very, very cool guy.
yeah.
He did get you to stop riding motorcycles, which I didn't think was possible. But hey, now you're riding bicycles. All the power to you. That's great exercise. Let
Do I need
me
to
ask you
look into
this:
this or no?
What?
Do
Do I
you
need to look
do you
into it?
consider that you have male friends
No, because
now,
you're on here with me.
and is he
You're
okay
just
with
using it for your headphones.
Yes,
Okay.
and that was a big point from my side. And
it?
Nikki mentioned something similar. I think it depends a lot on boundaries. If you've set those
Okay,
boundaries, and Gabe, from his side, he'd like to meet my friends, and he's met both of you. And
right.
the two of you are a good example of my guy friends.
Okay.
And I think the same way, if he has a girlfriend, I would like to meet her and get to know her to consider her the friend.
Wait, but
If she's a friend,
I
yeah.
thought Joel couldn't have friends. You just said you guys are friends.
I did not agree with that, but okay.
Oh, so you're not friends.
I honestly, if I had a dead body in the trunk at 2 in the morning, Salo, I love you, and I see you I see you when I see you, but no, I wouldn't show up to your door.
I
If
think
I,
that Joelle just has
So,
like a
hang
more.
on. Yeah,
So, what
all
is
right. We
your
have Nikki on there.
definition of a
Nikki,
friend? Is what I want to
we'll
know.
go over that in just a second. Let's kind of reset here. Nikki just came on YouTube for the
I'm
first time.
such a
Nikki, let's have you
troublemaker.
introduce
thank
yourself.
God for Nikki. I need you on my side.
Well, I think that this conversation is deeper than what we like. It's obviously there's always so much context that people need to discuss, and when we're talking about these like subjective conversations, and every single one of us has different ideas of what friendship is, and I think that in order for us to find common ground and agree or disagree, we need to talk about the different dynamics and find a commonality and a common ground in what vocabulary we're going to use and what our definitions of these words are.
Okay, so let's go over that then. Let's define friendship. Justin, let's start with you.
So, my friendships are very deep and dear and personal to me.
Okay.
I literally hold people really close, and I only have like two hands full. Um, I have one best friend, and I don't really have like a female best friend. I would consider Nikki and my other homegirl to be like my closest female friends. And me and Penny are have gotten closer over the years. When I was living in Miami, me and Salo became good friends, mostly through writing. But like Salo knows if I'm here for anything, like I'm here for her. And I'm sure Nikki and Penny could attest for that. Like I've been longtime friends with them, especially Nikki. Like literally, I could FaceTime Nikki's dad right now and just be like, "I love you, asshole. Goodbye." Like, like I'm that close with these girls. Like,
Okay, good.
it's a deep friendship. I've never kissed any of these girls. I've never. It's not like that at all. It's straight friendship.
Okay, Salo, what's your definition of friendship?
Um, if I were to picture it, I guess I would put strangers, the people I know, and my friends. And my friends would be the ones I at least talk to every other day. The
Okay, so then
people,
let me stop. By definition, you're agreeing with me. We're not exactly friends. We
yeah,
know each other. We're very friendly when we see each other,
but
and
we
I love
barely
hanging
talk.
out with you. But yeah, exactly. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yes. Someone at least I go visit once a week.
Okay. All right, Nikki, how would you define friendship?
Um, See, like for me, I think friendship is a lot more gray than being black or white. I think friends
Mhm.
come in different proximities,
Okay.
So I believe you can have friends that are like family. I believe you can have close friends. I believe you can have um, friends that are more on the acquaintance side. I think you could have business friends. I think you could have work friends. I think you could have, I think
Yeah.
friends, and then they intersect into different compartments. So, like, I'm friends with some people that I would consider my friends, people that I've slept with. I have friends that I haven't slept with. So, for me, friends come in all different types of, you know,
So
dynamics.
let me ask you this: since like we're close. Obviously, I'm close enough to where you now jump into a relationship. I'm close enough where you're still going to introduce me to your new man.
Of course, that's without a question.
But there's some other men that might be in your life where it's like, yo, we got to cut this. Like, we're not even that close.
Well, I think that for me, anybody could be in my life if they respect me.
True.
So I'm gonna bring all of me to the table, and I'm gonna say, "Yo, this is who I am, and this is what I can offer you." And if you accept that, then we can move forward. If you can't, then we gotta part ways. It's that simple. I'm not gonna like break my back and try to be somebody that I'm not to fit a friendship. To me, friendship is about, acceptance. It's just about how can we coexist in a healthy space. And
Okay.
whatever that space is, super um uh how do I explain it? It's defined. Every friendship's different. So that's why for me the definition of friendship can't be defined in one way because every relationship
Very
has its own
personal.
dynamic.
Sure.
So, you know, building to me friendship is coexisting with people at different, in healthy proximity, whatever that is.
Okay.
So
So
I
since,
Hang on. Let's
go
go to
ahead, Penny.
Penelope.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
let's go
Penny.
to Penny.
so I want to piggyback off what Nikki is saying, that friendship is not black and white, and something that is really important to me here in saying, wow, this is really loud.
Try taking one headphone off.
Yeah. Is it's really hard for people to compartmentalize people, and
Mhm.
everybody has to put everybody in a box, right? Like
Sure.
you have your close friends, you have your friends you party with, you have your work friends, and everything is not meant to be black and white, right?
Hmm.
Like sometimes some people come through for you, some other people don't, and it's okay to kind of just have surface level people in your life, and that's fine. And I think that something that I've learned as an adult is that different people are going to show up for you in different ways, and the ways that they can show up for you. And for me, a lot of my friends, it's hard for me to be like, oh, I'm only friends with guys or I'm only friends with girls, because a lot of my friends don't even identify in the same like gender. Like a lot of my friends are non-binary gender conforming. So like a lot of my friends don't even identify as like women or men. So I don't even
Well,
look
that,
at
that
that.
that's
Good
a
point.
that's a minority of the population, though. Let's stay in the statistical,
Yeah.
50-50 men,
Why,
women,
but
blah blah
Joel,
blah.
why do we have to stay in the statistical? Why do
Because
we
we're
have?
talking about because of this podcast, we're talking about generalities. We're
Yeah,
talking about
but
Yeah.
men and women being
yes,
friends.
but that is a great
So
point.
even looking at that, right, that's allowed me to like broaden my horizons, right? So
Hmm.
like when I'm becoming friends with a guy, like it's purely for the reason of friendship, right? Unless like it goes further than that,
Okay, let me
right?
let me let me pose this question to all of you because I
Mhm.
think it ties into exactly what you just said. To have a proper and, let's say, meaningful friendship,
Mhm.
do you believe both people have to see the friendship the same way?
No,
No.
They don't.
But there no, but there
So
has to be
so
a mutual respect.
well,
absolutely.
okay. So let's say there's a mutual respect. Let me pose a scenario to you. I try to date any of you, Nikki, Penelope, Salo. I try to date you. I try to sleep with you. All this stuff. All this stuff. You say no. We should just be friends. And I say, okay, I'm gonna be the best damn friend I can be until I can sleep with you. Okay. Maybe someday I'll get my chance.
There's
And
an
you
ulterior
guys,
motive.
well,
Yeah, but
that's
that's
the
also
thing.
in.
That's the point I want to get to. Most
But you're
men, the vast majority of men, and the three of you are very attractive ladies. The vast majority of men who you call your friends will sleep with you if given the chance. Guarantee it.
But I
oh,
think most
but I
people
think
will sleep with anybody given the chance, because there's an
right.
animalistic
It's
instinct with
nature.
most people.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that
Exactly. But once you get,
but will you girls sleep with your friends if they
well,
want to sleep with
yes,
you? Like,
sometimes I think that this is also like primitive and immature in a way to say like, oh my God, this person is not your friend because they would have sex with you. Like,
I think anybody would have sex with
and
anybody
yeah,
in the right
but
moment. I think it is primitive to say, like, hey, like this person, granted they had the opportunity, they're gonna nail you. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right.
Right.
So
At
But
that point,
I
at
but
that
agree
can
with
point,
you
I just
on
say
what you
one more?
guys are saying,
Can I just
but
say one
what
more thing?
Joel is saying is an actual fact about men.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is this, right? Like there are, like I feel like there are different types of people in the world, men and women. And yes, as women, every single day we wake up, right? And we're vulnerable, right? Because everybody wants to fuck us. We're sexualized, we're objectified, we're dehumanized. Everybody knows that. But there are amazing men in the world that can put their satiation for us to decide to view us as people.
of course,
And those men, I've met plenty of them. And unfortunately, yeah, we do live in a patriarchal society. We all know that. And Joelle, thank you for speaking to that because yes, we live in a world where
of
men are
course,
vampires and women are steak. For sure.
well, no,
No, but
I,
that's my reality as a woman.
okay.
That's my reality as a woman.
100%.
But I will say that, and that's why the patriarchy, sexism, feminist movement exists because we're tired as women of being dehumanized and not being seen as people. But
Well,
I do believe that when you value yourself as a woman and you demand and command a certain amount of respect, you don't have space for that type of shit in your life. And people, you command a certain level of respect. And if certain men want to be in your life, they have to respect you or they can't be in your life.
And they'll come out naturally because if they can tell that you don't accept that, they'll just leave on their own.
Right?
They won't even
Exactly.
Right.
try.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. There's always that expectation. One thing that I've been dealing with, like going out on dates, is that expectation of like, will they expect me to have sex with them at the end of the date? You know what I mean?
mhm.
And that's something that I shouldn't have to struggle with. You know what I mean? So it
Well,
is,
a
but
date by definition is a romantic engagement.
mhm.
So,
So what?
once sex happens, that's no longer a friendship. Now that becomes to some extent a romantic relationship. You can say to yourselves, "Oh, it's just a friendship, and we have sex every once in a while." What do you call that? Technically, you call that an open relationship
Mhm.
Or friends with benefits.
or friends with benefits. That's not a real friendship at that point,
I
or
did
what
have
we would
a
consider a real friendship.
I disagree. I feel like there's times also where you have sex with someone and you realize you're not compatible and you guys have value to offer each other
I
platonically.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, but the man's always, even if the man didn't have good sex with you that one time, he's always gonna try to come back. Guaranteed.
I don't agree
Ah,
with you there.
99.9% of the time. Justin,
I think Joel, you're speaking for like a big portion of the male population, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But
right?
but what I'm trying to tell you is that at the point of where I'm at in my life
Sure.
and the value that I put on myself,
Hmm.
I don't engage with those types of men and I don't have relationships with those types of men. I don't have friendships with those types of men. I don't do business with those types of men. Like I don't want anything to do with those types of men. So when you set a certain standard for your life, you attract the vibration that you're operating on. So if I set a standard of my life where you're gonna motherfucking respect me, I'm a bad bitch. I don't
Bro,
care if you want to be in my life, you're gonna respect
so
me.
these three girls here are my friends.
Uh huh.
Like they're not 304s.
And I take your word for that, and I
They
believe you,
they're
Justin.
they're
But I
my
guarantee
friends.
you,
They're my
Justin, I
friends
know
for a
you.
reason, I'm
I,
telling you.
I'm sure they are, Justin. I'm sure you guys all have a great relationship. But
But just
I guarantee you, any of these three girls hit you up at 2 in the morning. Hey, pull up. You would pull up, guaranteed it.
Bro,
And don't
bro,
keep it 100, brother.
Nikki's
Keep it
come.
100.
Nikki has come knocking on my door at 2 a.m. And this is freaking years ago. And she, guess what?
And she was ready to go.
No, she wasn't ready to
Okay,
go.
then.
She
That's what I'm
was
saying. If
out of
she
it. And
had been,
guess what I did? I took care of her. I put her in my
well,
bed.
that's you be doing the right thing and not taking advantage of her
But that's
doing
because I'm
that.
a
But if she,
strong
But
man
when
and we're
you're
actually friends.
but that's got
If
nothing
I
to do
was a
with it,
weak
Justin.
man, if I was weak, I wouldn't be able to control
But it's true,
myself.
you are speaking on a certain type of individual, a certain type of male that is an opportunist, that is kind of like a sleazy
Well,
person.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
You
The,
know
the
what I
the
mean?
example Justin just put up, like she showed up. I don't know if you were drunk, whatever. That's none of my business. But in an altered mental status, any man
Hmm.
who would take advantage of that is, I can agree, that's a dirtbag. That we're not gonna even consider those people. Okay, I'm talking a straight male. Girl pulls up, hot girl. I don't care who she is, unless maybe sisters, cousins. Hopefully, if he knows her, they're good friends. If she pulls up ready to go 2 a.m., he's gonna do it.
Yeah, but
Ninety
I
nine
don't
percent
think
of the time.
I
so.
think the problem, first off, those things are mutually exclusive. Like Justin could be a really amazing friend to me and never try to have sex with me, and also if I wanted to have sex with him, take advantage of that moment and fuck me. And those two things are mutually exclusive. He can be a great friend to me that would fuck me. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't those things do not have to be
Yeah, but
mutually.
at that point, the way our brains are wired, we have so much testosterone and we're constantly horny and looking for mates. His brain's gonna start working differently. His
But that
motives are gonna
doesn't
become
But
different.
mean
he's been
that
my friend.
the
But he's been my
friendship
friend
is
since first.
over.
But this man has been my friend since
Joel,
first. This man has been time
I'm
out.
not
This
saying
man.
we
I'm
This
not
do
man
saying the
has been
friendship
my.
is over. I'm saying it becomes a different type of friendship.
we do
No, what
have
I'm
to
trying to
clear
tell you is
one
that
thing.
he's never had sex, and what I'm trying to tell you is that he has been a stellar friend to me. And what I'm
I
trying to
believe it.
tell you is that just because in a weird reality, it hypothetically speaking, he might have sex with me, that doesn't mean that he hasn't and isn't a stellar friend to me.
Well, you're absolutely right. But the point is that given the chance to get into a romantic relationship with you, he would do it.
I
But
think given the chance,
that's not the
anybody would
topic of.
get into any relationship with anyone that is extremely attractive, because we are all
Sexual
like
being.
The
primitive
funny part is he
creatures.
doesn't know how well I know you guys, and
But
I'm like,
the
hell no, I wouldn't.
no, I'm not.
Justin, you gotta keep it. No,
Let's not.
Justin,
I'll
you get a red
watch.
Wait,
flag
wait,
on
wait,
that
wait.
one.
Hold on,
Nah,
hold
hell
on,
no.
hold on,
I
hold on.
will watch from the
Let's not
sidelines.
make Justin the prime example, because I feel like right now we're
No,
just using you right now
I
as a
wanted
prime.
to set Joel. I wanted
No,
to
no, no.
set something straight. Is that Joel? You have to understand. You can't even generalize this. Like I'm splitting the
From suck
screen.
to
I'm
bin.
splitting us all from you. But
No, I
like
get that
us
100%. I
as
know that I'm
friends.
alone in this debate.
No, I'm coming in as all of us in here with you right now are coming in as an exception to the rule.
Here's
And
the
those
thing.
exist, but you can't make the rule
I'm
based on
I
the
am
exception.
we
We're
you
talking
can't
about
you
possibilities and
yeah.
probabilities.
So
All
girls,
these
I
things are
I
possible.
also I also want you girls to realize that we're separating ourselves from what we're talking about because we're
Absolutely.
we're we're generalizing not ourselves. We're looking outward to like
Let
generalizing the public.
Thank you,
Well, if you
Justin. And
want to
let me put
generalize,
it this way.
if you want
Sorry,
to generalize
Nikki,
the public,
I'll let you speak right after
go
this. I
ahead.
just want to make
Sorry.
sure we make the distinction. We have to keep in mind the possible and the probable. Are all these things, all these wonderful friendships where sex happens and nothing goes wrong, are they possible? Sure. Are they probable? Absolutely not. Sorry, Nikki, go ahead.
I think that that's okay. So now we have to talk about the why is it possible and not probable. Like, let's get deeper with it, right? Because I would like to say that me, Penny, and I don't know, Jazz, but I'm assuming that we have all been through extreme trauma from being women, right?
yeah.
And we have persevered through that trauma, and we've empowered ourselves rather than becoming victims of our gender. We have empowered ourselves, right? So when you think about why why you believe men and women can't be friends and why the masses can't be friends, right? Now you're talking a deeper conversation. You're talking a deeper conversation about the history of the relationship between the man and the woman and how
Mhm.
women have been, you know, objects of male conquering. Like they conquer a city, they rape the women, they sex traffic women. Women are constantly brutalized and dehumanized throughout history, throughout forever and ever and ever, right? That's just a historical thing. You know, we were expected to stay home and raise children while men were out being breadwinners. During the caveman times, men were out hunting, coming home, killing the stuff, and women were. We've always been objects. We've always
Well,
been treated
Nikki,
as
but I can
objects.
make the opposite argument. I mean, and I understand all the things you're saying, but I can make the opposite argument that now, these days, half of men are invisible. It's
Okay,
men that represent 95% of the war casualties in the world. It's men that represent 85% of the homeless population.
and the suicide rate
Yeah,
is higher in
where's the
men.
outcry for that?
Right. But this is the thing, right? This is the problem between men and women and why we're disconnected, because when I'm sharing my experience, rather than you trying to understand my experience, you want to combat my experience with your experience. And we're not talking about your experience. We're talking about my experience right now because I'm the one who's talking. So let's stay there and let's focus on me, Jazz, and Penny, and why we feel maybe like there's a disconnect there. And then after you understand our side of it, then you express your side of it, and then we bridge the gap and we both come out of here growing, elevating, and respecting each other more and having a better relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? But historically, because we are the inferior biological beings, we have been taken advantage of in a physical way, right? I lost you
Go
threw
ahead.
me off my point because of whatever you said.
Yeah.
But we got to think about the history of the broken home, of the fact that in minorities and blacks, there is less families that are together. You know what I mean? There are so many political issues and societal issues that lead to the fact that men and women can't be friends. My point is that when you're an empowered woman, an educated woman, a woman who doesn't allow yourself to be victimized, and for a man, right? I can't speak for you, Joel, but I can speak for my boy Justin here because I've been friends with him since first grade. He didn't subscribe to the bullshit that society told him he had to be because he was a man. That's my best friend.
What's that bullshit that society told Justin that he had to be because he's a man?
The same bullshit they tell you about being a man and me about being a woman, that we can't be friends because I'm an object that you need to see as something to conquer. That there's no reason for you to respect me or see any value in me outside
See,
of
hang
sex.
on, because that's a fallacy. Because we're both objects to each. I don't believe it in calling it objects, but let's use the word objectify. And I believe we're objects to each other. Because yes, women can be sex objects to men, but men are success objects to women. Because you're not even going to
Totally.
entertain a sexual relationship with a man who's not successful. I'm not even going to entertain a sexual relationship with a woman who's not good looking.
I think that there's definitely a hierarchy there because you think the most good looking women go with the more successful men, but we can't act like broke men aren't fucking ugly women. So everybody's fucking everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody's fucking everybody. Everybody's getting fucked.
Not everybody. Guarantee you
But
that.
No,
The
your
there's
point is that
your
most
views
Because
are
I'm sorry.
very
Look,
like one dimensional from what I'm
but it's
seeing.
really not because let's talk about percentages, right? The top 20% of men are having sex with probably 80% of the women, right? So what happens to that bottom 50% of men? Where do all these incels come from? All these guys that go crazy and end up doing mass shootings. Usually it's because of a woman.
yeah, I think it's what is it?
First of
One in
all,
three
I'm
men
gonna have to
haven't had sex in the last year.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to like stop you right now because this is rhetoric that is extremely dangerous to women. It is not a woman's fault that a man shoots anybody up. The fact that
I
you can't get
100% agree. That's all on the guy.
the fact that you can't get pussy is your fault as a
I
man.
100%.
If you can't get
And
pussy, it's your
Justin
fault.
can tell you, I say that here all the time.
Agreed.
Right. So, and also, let's also keep in mind that there's plenty of inmates in prison that are pen paling bitches and marrying bitches, and bitches are going to fucking prison to fuck these men.
Yeah.
So,
For
what I'm trying
real.
to say is if you got a little bit of swag, if you got one thing going for you, you're
Yeah.
getting pussy.
And you're
I agree.
confident about
You're
it.
getting
And you know
pussy.
Literally
what, Donovan?
one thing going for you,
One
you
thing
can
going.
get laid.
You can
Absolutely.
get
If you
so
look
One thing.
and
A
my
girl has to
friend,
have everything, but you can
no, a girl
get
does
one
not have to
thing.
have everything. We can go over that in a second. But my friend Donovan Sharp, who was on here last Sunday, he always says a man who's at A plus at one thing will get more pussy than a man who's a B plus at everything. Salo, you've been quiet there for a while. What do you say?
I'm shocked. I don't even know what to say.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. I do have one thing though. Would you be able to be friends with someone you're attracted to? That is just your friend because maybe he's taken or you're taken.
at that point it becomes an inappropriate friendship. Because
And I think that's the only case
if you're
where I would
attracted to
say to
somebody,
myself,
But
uh-huh.
I don't
I've
agree
been
with that.
Disagree.
friends so
I
many times with
I to be
someone.
honest, I'm attracted to all three of you guys. You're all attractive. And all of your
I
personalities
just
are super and all of your traits
sorry,
are
can
attractive.
I just get this out? I just think that that's part of being an adult. Like I work, all right. So I mean, we all live in major cities, right? You guys live in Miami, you live in LA, I work in New York. We're all around like actors, models, singers. Like most of my friends are attractive and are in relationships, are married, are like part of like being an adult is practicing self-control and like
100%.
allowing yourself to like make the right decisions. So like to me, like I can't fathom the fact that somebody can sit in front of me and be like, yo, you're too hot and I can't be your friend.
Yeah, for real.
Like
A
grow the
man,
fuck
a
up.
man, look,
And like
a man who you wouldn't be interested in would never say that to you. He would try to be your
oh,
friend until he got his chance.
that's
And it
so
starts with
scummy.
being
I'm
And
sorry.
sorry,
There's
sorry.
only
honest with
one word.
Let
Like
me.
yourself.
you are a sleazeball.
I don't know.
And
For me,
like
as a real dude, I'm gonna be upfront. If I like you, I'm gonna tell you straight
And
up.
Justin,
Like,
but
and
like
Justin, I
it
think
is
we all need to
sorry.
hang on.
It
We
is
all need to
okay to
agree on
have
this. Sorry,
multiple
Penelope.
attractions.
We all need
Okay.
to agree on this real quick. Justin, can you and I agree that you and me don't represent the majority of men?
absolutely.
Okay, now I think we all need to agree with the fact that the cities we live in do not represent the majority of the United States of America, let alone the world. Can we
But
agree
Yeah,
on that?
that's playing off of exactly what I was saying earlier, is that no, a majority of people fucking suck. And a majority of men fucking suck. But when you are a woman that has been raped, been assaulted, been violated, been dehumanized, been ostracized, been objectified, been cheated on, been humiliated over and over again, you start seeing the signs of those toxic behaviors, and you start setting a higher standard for the people that you allow into your life.
true.
And the only type of men that I let into my life are men like Justin. I don't deal with any of anybody's bullshit. And guess
I get that,
what?
and I don't mean to diminish your experiences, Nikki, but that's not the majority of women.
No,
But
but
are we talking
what
about the
I'm here to
majority?
do,
Because isn't the topic called can men and women win or can majority? It's is it
Men
the
and women,
exception?
by definition, men and women is a generalized term, but that's the beauty of this podcast. We always start off with a topic and then they're going in a completely different
right? But
tangent.
Joelle, the
Okay.
thing is like for me, I would rather inspire women. I would rather take this platform and opportunity to inspire men and women both to like operate from a more civilized place, right? Because that's what we as influencers and artists and podcasters have the opportunity to do. We don't need to speak. We can speak for the majority of people that are basically lost and in toxic situations, or we can
Hmm.
set an example and be like, yo, you know what, I'm a fucking solid dude, Justin's a solid dude, Penny's a solid woman, I'm a solid woman, and Jan Salu is a solid woman, and we've all been through that shit, we've all been toxic, we've all fucking, like, I'm sure you've been a dick to
Look,
women
yeah,
at
I
some
can
point.
fully endorse that, and I think we are doing that by coming on here and airing our differences in a civilized and open manner.
Right,
What you just said, that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, Nikki, the
right.
whole reason like I even had the idea for this podcast is because I think, and you know my view on the dating scene right now, and I actually wanted
It's
to ask you
facts.
guys. I had a question for you guys.
Do you have it written down?
I do,
Okay,
and
let me reset first because we're 40 minutes in.
okay,
You are watching the J&J podcast, DJ Academic's favorite new podcast. And this is
I hate
I
that
am
guy.
Jay. Yeah, well, he's a pariah right now. I always name somebody who's like, trending or
DJ
whatever.
Academics, you're canceled in my world. You fuck 17-year-old girls. You're a
oh,
weirdo.
You know what? That's his business and whatever. Anyway, I am Jay. He is Jay, and we are joined by three lovely ladies. The lovely Penelope right there by Justin. Wave hi at everybody.
Hi.
We got Salo down there who does no longer ride a motorcycle. She's a bicycle girl now.
Shout out to Vikings.
Shout out to
We
Vikings.
love
How much
bikes.
did they pay you to say that? And
Nothing.
we got
I just like
and,
them.
And we got our lovely and beautiful celebrity Nikki joining us. Thank you for
The
joining us,
celebrity
Nikki.
thing is funny.
So the celebrity, not the celebrity.
Not the
Do we
celebrity.
want to take a break and look at Nikki's video
Yeah,
before we get to
let's
Justin's
check that
question?
out.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Check out this video by Nikki. Nikki, do you want to introduce it while I bring it up?
This is my single Yippee Kayo. It dropped on July 15th. Check it out.
Check it out. Here we go.
Yo, don't let her be so humble, bro. She's doing her thing out there right now.
Shh.
Es Bourbon, Bourbon. Tú me subes la rápido mis hormonas se alborotan. Los tuyos adictivos como coca. Contigo yo me pongo puti loca, puti loca. Tú me subes la nota, rápido mis hormonas se alborotan. Los tuyos adictivos como coca. Contigo yo me pongo puti loca, puti loca. Tú quieres comerme y yo también quiero comerte. Ya yo te di la luz verde. Hoy va a ser tu día de suerte, de suerte. Cuando me monto y picayo, tengo control, nadie se mueve como yo. Yo me apunto y te saco madero. Una fiera si me pongo el bebidor. Cuando me monto y picayo, tengo control, nadie se mueve como yo. Yo me apunto y te saco madero. Una fiera si me pongo el bebidor. Tú me subes la nota, rápido mis hormonas se alborotan. Los tuyos adictivos como coca. Contigo yo me pongo puti loca, puti loca. Tú me subes la nota, rápido mis hormonas se alborotan. Los tuyos adictivos como coca. Contigo yo me pongo puti loca, puti loca. Si supieras.
All right, guys. If you want to see the whole video, Nikki, where do they go? Plug it.
You can find it on any major DSP. But since we're on YouTube, I'll endorse YouTube.
I'm going right now.
Where'd you go, Salo?
We don't know where Salo
Bathroom
went.
break.
Let's mute her
She's
till she
over
gets
us.
back.
She's over us. She's like, yo.
All right, Justin, we are back. You had a question. What was your question?
Oh, so I mean, I speak to you guys often. Salo, not so much, but we're still cool as hell. But Nikki and Penny definitely know my views on the dating world, and I think it's broken, and that's the whole point for this podcast. Like, I wanted to shed light on the situation that there's a major disconnect in the dating scene, and you guys knowing my views on the dating scene and like how it is out there, do you have a problem with the way I view things? Do you think it's misogynistic in any way?
No, I think that you're actually one of the good ones.
I definitely don't think. I mean, we've had multiple conversations about like your overall views, and like you're always like very introspective in the sense of like what you think you're doing wrong or like not doing wrong. And I think this is like a really good way of kind of like expanding your mind and getting more like perspective. So
Here's a question: Has and this is for Penelope, Nikki, and Salo. Has Justin ever asked one of you for dating advice?
yeah, all the time.
Justin, just the other week when Donovan was here, you said you don't take dating advice from women.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Don't make me bring up the video.
All right, bring it up.
I gotta go look for it, but I have it. I'll
I
put it up
think
on the clip.
I think
Bro,
we
you
were.
said you shouldn't take dating advice from women.
I don't think I said that.
I'm 100% sure you said it. We'll watch it back. But
I
yes, you
think
did.
I was actually told not to take dating advice from women.
No, you said yourself. I shouldn't. You told people to the
I
camera you should not take dating advice from women.
I gotta see this.
It doesn't
If
sound
I
if,
honestly
if,
think none of
if
us
I
should take
said
advice
that,
from
if
anyone
I
like
said
that.
that, I'll own up to it.
Okay.
But there had to be some context to that. Maybe I was talking about don't take advice from like date women coaches online. If
Okay.
I said that, but I don't. That's not something I would
But
say.
we're not
I ask these
specific
girls for
women.
advice all the
We're
time.
his friends, so it's different.
I really do.
Right.
We're his friends, so it's a different dynamic. You know,
All right.
it's different vibe.
Justin, what else you got?
So, all right, guys, this is for the ladies. Does it hurt? This is for men out there. Does it hurt a man's dating life by being friends with beautiful women?
No, not if you're dating.
I
Well,
Not
think
if
it
depends.
you're.
does
Depends.
them a favor because if they're so either insecure that they can have you have beautiful friends and they have to judge first thing, they're doing you a favor by
So,
letting those.
I personally think having beautiful female friends makes me pre-selected.
It does if you're in the very early stages of dating. If you're going out to the club, trying to pick up girls, doing things like that. If you're in a serious relationship, it is inappropriate for you to have female friends, and ladies, it is inappropriate for you to have male friends if you're in a relationship. That I think is undisputed. I don't think any man would want to come home to find you gossiping with some other guy that he doesn't know. Oh, he's my friend.
I mean,
Or and
it's
anytime I got here, oh, my friend Kevin at work,
No, no,
his
no.
mind's
But you know
going somewhere
what?
else.
If he's your friend, your boyfriend should know your friend, or else that's not a friend.
But
Yeah.
it depends on like the level that you're like taking it to.
Yeah.
Of course, if I'm in a serious relationship, I'm not gonna be sprawled out on my couch like, yo, Justin, let's fucking kick it with some fucking
mean,
beers. Like, you know what I mean?
Think about
There's
it.
gonna be-
Salo made it a point.
In my underwear.
like
Salo made
you know
it
what
a
I
point
mean? Like
to
there's-
introduce us to her boyfriend.
wait. Like,
Right, and she
hold
did
on,
that the
wait.
right way. If she hadn't
I
done
have
that,
my-
I would have been very suspicious had I been her boyfriend.
Hold on. Wait, I need to elaborate more on
Please.
like because things sometimes like don't get explained properly. Like, yes, of course, like everything to like a certain extent and a certain degree. Yes, like it is okay to have male and female friends to a certain extent with respect. Of course, if I'm in like the beginning of stages, like you are, Nicole, with like your man, you're not gonna be there with like all your homies kicking it, like smoking a fucking doobie and like drinking beers at home, like with like all your boys. Like, of course,
Shouldn't
you're
that
gonna
be
give
something you're able to do with your friends, though?
I know, but like
I
there's
think
a certain
that
way that you conduct yourself out of respect, like in the
Right.
beginning stages of a relationship, and it's not being fake. But like, of course, like this is my friend Justin, this is my friend Michael. To that extent, we've been friends for 10 years. Keeping that type of transparency is healthy. But I'm not going to be like, yo, we're going to be hanging out till 4 a.m. But I am going to keep that
Okay, so let me
transparency
ask
with
you,
you.
why is that? Why would that? If you go, if you're in a relationship, would you go on a girls' night out? Would that be inappropriate? If you were in a relationship,
I'm in a relationship, and if I wanted to go out with a group of people, male or female, it's totally acceptable in my relationship.
let me ask this: if you're in a relationship, is it cool that you go on girls' nights out?
I can
Yes or
go
no?
on whatever nights out I want.
I
So
mean,
your
it
boyfriend would
also
be
just
totally cool.
depends
Hang on,
on.
I'm sorry. Your boyfriend, Nikki, would be totally cool with you going out with 5 dudes to the club.
I wouldn't be okay doing that myself.
Exactly.
Okay, then there's an issue
But
there.
that's something but that's something that I wouldn't do single. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if I wasn't okay,
right,
so
but
this
that is something you would do with your friends.
I think that we're getting so caught up on like hypothetical situations.
On like exactly on like
hold on
technicalities.
We're not on stupid,
like the devil's advocate thing is not taking us to like the level that we need to be in this conversation. The point that I'm trying to drive this conversation to is that there needs to be respect and transparency, and that is everything in
every
a relationship and a
Right.
friendship.
I mean,
What I'm trying to
hear
tell
me
you
out for a
is that
second.
when
Any
you
Hold on, one
have
sec,
that
guys.
transparency,
any
Justin,
relationship
go ahead.
Give me one sec. For all right, you'll probably everybody will probably agree on this, except Joel. Listen, if I have a new girlfriend, which had happened in the past, and you girls were introduced, well, actually, yeah, I introduced you guys to my
All of
girlfriend.
us knew your ex.
I know, but that's a point that I have to make. Like, some people think that I can't get a girl because I hang out with girls, but that's not the fact. Like, you're gonna have to be in my life, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that I have female friends, or I won't accept you.
All right.
But for me, hold on one
Can I
No,
second.
no, go
say
ahead.
Hold
something
on.
after
I'm not
Justin,
done.
please? I'm waiting for Justin.
So if I am with a girl and I start a new friendship with some random girl that me and my girl both don't know, and none of you girls know, she's just some random girl at the bar, I think that's absolutely inappropriate on my end, and that's not tolerable on either end of the man or the woman. Like, where's a new friend coming out of? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
because
think,
you should be investing that energy towards your relationship.
can I say something?
Yeah.
I think I just want to, like, I want to reset some stuff, like, really quick, because we're talking about things that I think we'll all agree on if we just strip it down to like a foundational aspect, right? Yeah, we've seen videos of people like DJ Academics screaming at his girlfriend in the middle of a hallway. That happens. There's men who hit women. There's men who cheat. There's people who lie. Sure, there's low vibrational people in the entire world that are raised fucked up. We know this. However, the way things should be, friendship, acquaintance, business relationship, career, relate anything in a healthy way, it's just a mutual respect of boundaries and people getting on the same page. If you have your way of being and I have my way of being, and you respect me and I respect you, then we can explore a relationship. Not necessarily a romantic relationship, just any relationship, an acquaintance, a friendship, a romantic one. I think that we're getting so caught up on like all this bullshit when at the end of the day, it's much more, life is so much more simple than that. If I have a friend and my friend respects me and I respect my friend, then they're going to be my friend in a space that I'm comfortable with and my partner's comfortable with. If they are not cool with that, then they
Exactly.
can't be my friend. If I have a partner, we have to respect each other and agree with each other's rules and boundaries. Otherwise, we're a bad fit. So it's much more simple than all the bullshit that we're inserting into this conversation, you know?
Well, see, and when I talk about statistics and generalities, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to strip it down to its base biology. I don't really see the need to keep complicating the conversation with the feminism stuff and women have been oppressed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You said yourself earlier, women get sexually objectified as men. And while I loved your video, that's all you did in that video was sexually objectify yourself.
So I deserve to be raped, right? Because I
No,
sexually
that's got
objectify
nothing to do
myself.
with this.
And I
That's
don't
got
deserve
nothing
to
to do
have
with this.
friends that are men. And I don't deserve to have friends that are men because
I
I'm
never
sexually
look. Don't put. Don't. Sorry, Nikki.
So
Don't
what are
put
you
words in my mouth.
saying?
What I'm
What are you
saying.
saying?
What I'm saying is, don't complain when men look at you as a sex object.
I don't
That's what
complain.
I'm saying.
I
Looking at
don't.
you as a sex object, looking at you and saying I want to have sex with you, has nothing to do with me
I
wanting
hope
or you
every I
raping you
hope
or anything
I
like
hope
that.
everybody in the world looks at me and finds me attractive and wants to fuck me, male, women, and everybody in between, because I'm selling a brand.
Okay,
Now,
good.
at the end of the day, I also hope that those people, despite their attractiveness to me, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, what I stand for, what I advocate for or believe in, can respect me as a human being as well. And again, those two things are not mutually exclusive. I mean, those things should be intersected. You can respect me and still find me attractive. Why is it that why is it that just because I'm a sexual being and I'm dancing around in my bikini, does that make me less valuable or
It
less
doesn't. I never said it did. What I'm saying is, you cannot complain about the over sexualization of women while sexualizing yourself. But we're getting way,
no?
way outside the
I
realm
can't,
here.
I'm not complaining about the oversex. I'm not complaining about the fact that people find us attractive. It's about discipline, and it's about, you can find women attractive and women should be able to express themselves however they want. That doesn't mean you get to see us as less than human. We're still human beings. We can be sexy and still be people.
No, I don't think in today's day and age anybody who's serious and rational sees women as not people. Okay, and look, I'd be happy to have you back on and give you all the airtime you need to, and we can get into that conversation. But let's strip it down to the base question here: is it appropriate or possible for men and women to be friends while in a relationship? I maintain no. It's
Yes.
inappropriate and it can't possibly work. You're not gonna have a lifelong friend who's a man.
I mean, it's funny because
And you all are still very very young.
we're
Okay,
in this
very young, very
situation right
idealistic.
now.
But that's so like
Primitive.
primitive and like one dimensional and like so old. That's such like an old school way of thinking.
What is what?
That's the
Give me
only way.
exactly what's old
Just
school about what I said.
that you're basically just saying like, oh well, like I'm in a relationship, so like I can't be friends with you because give me all right, so right now break it down for me. What's disrespectful about having you're in a relationship?
Hmm.
Why is it disrespectful to have a female friend while you're in a relationship right now?
Because the way
Give me your
because the way
rundown.
because the way men's possessiveness works in our hindbrain and the way competition works in a woman's hindbrain never allows improper thoughts to exit the brain. If I have a
To
girlfriend and she's got a guy friend who she's texting with every night or every other night, excuse me, or the friend Kevin at work, at Kevin in accounting, my brain, as
the
much as I
Kevin
may
in
act,
accounting, Kevin in
look,
accounting. This am I reading like a cheesy romance novel? These people
maybe
don't
you
even
are.
exist in my life.
Maybe you are, but the reason all those cheesy romance novels exist, that's because that's the reality of life. That's the way
That
our
is not
biology
the
actually
reality.
works.
These
Of
people do
course it
not
is.
exist in the world. This
Of
is
course
this
they
is
do.
some this is like your world, but this world does not
My
exist.
world.
This to me is a very these types of humans are extremely like
Unevolved.
non-elevated. They're
So
one
let me boil
dimensional.
it down. Let me boil it down. Okay.
No, you don't need to boil it
I
down
do I
because
do
to
because
me this
I'm trying
is
to get to
so
something. I do because I want to get to something.
ridiculous
Do
that
you
you're telling
believe?
me like your friend Kevin that you're texting every night. I'm not even texting anybody every night because my
Well,
ass is at
then
fucking
they're not your
work.
friends.
They're
Then they're
not
not your
because
friends.
this scenario just seems so bizarre to me. Like
I honestly, I think so. This is why my view is kind of,
it just doesn't make
it's
sense.
not so far to that direction of Joel. And to be honest, the more I put myself in it, I'm like, I realize, holy crap, I am in a situation with the
You
exception to
are.
the rule because I'm realizing how you girls are reacting. And I'm like, you guys aren't the typical girls. Like you guys,
But it's not. But you know what it is? Okay, so to be honest, I just realized that everybody lives such different lives and
Different
lives in such
oh
reality.
different
yeah,
parts of the world.
It
Like,
is. It's very different. You're right.
so my life is so different. Like, I feel like people that live 9 to 5 jobs might be bored in a relationship. And yeah, she might be bored and is
Texting
texting
Jason
Kevin
from
from
yeah.
accounting at night.
I,
I'm not because because at 11 o'clock at night,
Well,
I'm
but they've
getting
been friends
back
for
from
10 years.
going out.
hey, it's Jake from State Farm.
You know what I mean? Like to me, like you're telling
Yeah,
me
but
this
hold on,
and
because sorry.
it sounds so like something that's made up because to me I'm like this doesn't make sense. Like I don't interact with people like this and it sounds something that is so almost like antique thinking. Like I don't interact with people who have this type of thinking,
Yeah,
so it sounds like something that's so far
I
off.
know,
Well,
but
maybe it
you
is
guys
foreign
really
to you,
have to,
but
like I said before, we have to separate the fact that we
yeah.
are, our experiences are not what I'm seeing that's happening out there. So it's
And I
like
think we can agree on
I'm
that.
literally generalizing. But hold on, as going as to the exception to the rule, I still believe like what you just said. I don't agree with it, Joel, because guess what? Nikki just got into a new relationship, and we haven't even hit the point because I'm in Jersey and she's in LA. But guess what? I'm gonna have to meet her new man. And guess what? Her new man is gonna have to be okay with me being in her life.
Is he?
Yes.
Because if he's a man of value, he's gonna say no, screw it, and he's gonna
First of
leave.
all, my man is a bad motherfucker. Okay,
Yeah.
my man used to play for the. My man is a fucking high, high value man, for real. Like bad motherfucker.
I believe it.
But
I will co-sign that.
he, my man respects me, and my man would not be with me if he didn't trust me or trust the way
Yeah.
I make decisions. he has boundaries, don't get it twisted. He wouldn't want me going to a one-on-one dinner at 9:30 p.m. over candlelight with a dude. Of
Over
course not.
candlelight, but okay. So he'd be okay with you going to the beach with
He
three
wouldn't.
other guys that are friends of yours?
I mean, it's a conversation. Maybe, maybe
Wait,
not.
hold on. What if I did ask you to dinner? Because that is a normal thing with us.
I think that with my particular boyfriend and knowing, because there's nuances in our relationship based on his status and things
Yeah.
like that. I can't be his girlfriend and get caught outside having dinner with any, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
because
because
he
Well,
of
looks
like
bad.
then by
Like,
media.
definition,
time
by
out.
definition, it's not a platonic friendship. A platonic friendship, by definition, we can look this up. I'll look it up right now. It's non-sexual.
Right, but me and
And
Justin are not.
a man never approaches a woman who he finds attractive for a friendship. Never.
I don't think me
Not
and Justin
once.
were sexualizing each other because we met in first grade. So I don't think
Yeah,
either
I
of us
know.
were thinking about sex.
So
Well,
you
maybe
guys
that's
are
a
like
little different, but I
family.
guarantee you still, if you texted him at 3 in the morning, Justin, pull up, he'd pull up.
But what
Guaranteed.
I'm trying to tell you is I don't
Yeah,
even know if
I'd
that's
probably pull up to fucking dry her tears or something, or
Yeah.
like
Right.
console her.
All
yeah,
right.
I
But
think
okay, that brings us to another interesting point. Are men, because a lot of, and like Penelope, this may not be your reality, but it is the reality for a lot of men all across the country and across the world, where they become friends with these women with the hopes of someday maybe get into a relationship with them, and they become their quote unquote emotional tampons. Is that at that point?
Not the
Uh,
tampon.
the
Bro,
what?
if you're as close friends as you are with these girls like I am,
Mhm.
you would never, because you know everything. Literally, these girls vent to me. I like Nikki. How
Well,
many
So
times
you're
do
their
you come
well,
to
emotional
me?
here's the
tampon.
I wish my
thing.
I
I'm
wish my
sure
I'm
that
not an emotional
Of
tampon.
course you are. You
I'm
just
a
said it.
friend. I'm an actual friend.
but I also
I'm a
wish that
platonic friend. Because guess
my
what?
Oh,
When
whatever.
I
boyfriend
don't feel good, I can come to them.
Jay, stop capping.
I
You know
also
if they
wish
texted you, you'd pull up.
I also wish that my boyfriend was here because my boyfriend and I have had conversations where because of like his lifestyle and his career path, he's been preyed on by women.
Mhm.
So like he's had experiences where he wasn't attracted to a woman and he just wanted to be friends. And the woman was kind of like the aggressor onto him.
Let me ask you this, because you bring up an interesting point. Let's
Yeah.
say your man had three female friends from his whole life. Maybe he
Mhm.
knew them in first grade. You guys met. He's
Mhm.
known them since first grade. They're all hot models. They all work at the Playboy Mansion now. Would you let him go out for drinks with them by himself without you?
Absolutely.
Stop capping.
Absolutely.
That's not true. No,
I'm not
Well,
capping.
why
I'm not
not?
buying
But
that.
I'm
why
not
can that
capping. But
why
you also
can
have
that
to
not be
understand
true?
you don't know. First of all, like first of all, one of the factors in this is like I like girls. So I'm not threatened by my man being attracted to women. Like that doesn't threaten me.
Okay, if you
Yeah,
guys have the
Justin's
relationship
ex-girlfriend
type
used
where
to love
he,
having girls around all the time. That's something I
We
do
and
remember.
we do
What?
not.
Sam used to love having girls around all the
I
time.
know. I used to have, bro. These girls would show up at my house in bikinis with bottles of alcohol, knocking
while
on
you
my
were in a
door
relationship,
while
Yeah.
my girlfriend's in the bed.
I guarantee you she was not okay with that.
Yes, she was.
Bro, my
And
girl
no,
would
in
get
her
it. My
Heimdem,
girl would get out of bed and start partying with them. She's like, I'm pouring shots.
right?
You're talking
Maybe,
about like you're
but
Joel,
the
you are
very
talking
first thought
about a
was, what the hell
very
are they doing here?
monogamous, you're talking about a one-dimensional Puritan
Yeah,
monogamous Christian relationship.
I think
This-
we keep
We
I
forgetting.
don't see it
I
that way.
think we all keep forgetting. I swear to God, and I keep saying it. My relationship with these girls is an exception to the rule.
I don't think so. I think that it's 2022 and people are becoming
Exactly.
more educated and people are becoming more open-minded. And I think that like this whole, like, that's why marriage is failing at a rapid speed nowadays because people don't feel the need to get married anymore. And like people are shifting, like changing things up. And like people are exploring with monogamish, people are exploring with open
With
relationships, people are
poly, with
exploring with
be-
polyamory. And every single relationship has its own rules and its own dynamics and its own, like, you can't make blanket statements on people's personal like lives. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's so hard to say like can men and women be friends? Like there is so many fucking people in the world. There are so many people with so many different levels of intelligence and so many like levels of awareness. Like there's so many different dynamics, and I know you want to speak for the majority, but like
Well, that's who we're speaking to here.
that's who
Yeah.
you're speaking to. But that's
Nikki,
not,
That's what this podcast is speaking
Nikki, just for perspective, like for your own perspective, would you say, let's say we split majority from exceptions to the rule 60-40? Who
to.
do
You
you
can't.
think would
That's not a
be?
majority.
No, no, it's still a majority,
A
60 over
statistical
40.
majority. A statistical.
no,
Okay, we can define
I
a
think
51%, but
I
a
think
statistical majority is
I
well
think
over
I'm
80.
most
just saying
people
for the most part, do you believe men
I
and
think
women can be friends?
I think most no, I think most people are uneducated, unhealed, and unintelligent, unhealed, low vibrational, toxic.
So for the most part, on the majority, men and women can't be friends.
I don't I didn't sign up for that type of conversation. I signed meant saying can men and women be friends? Yes, men and women can be friends. Can every man and woman be friends?
Exactly. That's
Absolutely not. No, there are people that are incapable of like not being like
friends
there's
with
all
anyone.
yeah,
And
there's so
that's what we're
many
talking about here. You
no,
just
that's
said
what
the majority of people are low vibration. So the probability, which is what I've been trying to get to the entire time, the probability is that men and women can't be friends.
Yeah,
You
so
just
I
said
get
it.
what Nikki's saying. Like, it's we didn't know that it was like you were trying to get to like a fact of something. Like,
Well, then that's on Justin for not explaining it properly before
yeah.
the podcast.
No,
Damn it,
no,
I
Justin.
just
You
wanted to
get another red
openly.
flag.
I think that you saying can men and women be friends is different than saying most men and women can't be friends. You
Can
know
the
what I mean?
majority,
Can
the
this
question
be
that
can
should
this
have been
exist?
proposed is, can the majority of men and women be friends?
Well,
Can
okay,
men
but
and women
I'm
be
not here
friends?
to talk about. Look,
Absolutely.
No,
we're
but what
not
I'm
here
trying to say
talking
is that
statistical anomalies,
no, but
okay? Because
when what I'm trying to say is when you ask a question like
I I
can no wait, Justin,
I
please,
asked
really,
that question.
Justin,
So
really quick,
it's my fault. But in this
Justin, really quick,
podcast, we are talking about the majority.
Justin, really quick. When you say a question like can this happen,
Yeah,
you're not talking about probability. You're not asking a probable question when you say can.
got you.
That's just not the question.
No, I
well,
agree with the
hang
girls.
on, 'cause
I
now we're
agree with
talking
the girls.
semantics.
We left out. We asked the basic question: can men and women be friends?
Yes,
And
Obviously,
that
they
question,
can.
when you ask that question, that assumes that's the majority. If I ask, can
no,
cars have five
that's
seats?
No,
Yes, they can.
no, no.
That is
Sorry.
when you pose the
Sorry.
question,
It's a hard no for
can,
me.
can the Lakers win the NBA championship? That assumes a generality
All right,
of whether the Lakers are gonna have a shot.
Nikki, I agree with you. I left the question very general, but if I reword the question, can the majority for all
what
you
is the
guys?
probability? What is the probability of men and women being friends? What
No,
is
no,
the
no, not the
probability?
probability, because I don't want to know numbers. Just, and this is for all you girls. I want to hear your opinion one at a time. If I reword the question, can the majority, can the generalized public, not people like us, can the
Let's
generalized
say,
public?
can men and women at large be friends?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Well,
Salo, you've been quiet for a long time.
Yeah,
she's
I want to
overwhelmed.
hear from you.
I mean, I stick to my yes, but with boundaries, and I can only speak for my own relationship. Um, it's gone a lot of other ways. I think, oh God, you're not always gonna be vibrating in this high vibration because life is ups and downs. So you're gonna find yourself in a low one at one point, and that's when you need to be honest with yourself and know where to go, what to do, and that's what you learn at the high one to kind of have a very set of principles that will allow you to make the right decision at that low point.
Okay, Penelope.
Okay, so I'm
Sorry,
gonna
do you prefer
answer
Penny or Penelope?
Penelope.
Okay.
It's my adult name.
only I'm allowed to call her Penny.
Okay,
Can
got it.
can the majority of men and women be friends? I'm gonna say what everybody else is saying. No, because people lack trust, they lack security. But crap, my AirPod died.
Self control.
They lack
We can still
self-control.
hear her.
But I think that like what I've been saying before, I think that yes, of course it's possible, like with any friendship, if there's a mutual sense of like respect, if there's boundaries, if there's understanding, if there's transparency, which is the biggest thing, of course anyone can be friends. Anybody like can do anything if there's that. But like can the majority do it? No. That's
So I
my
think we all
final
just
answer.
agreed it is possible, but it's not probable. Correct?
Can
Oh
I?
my God,
I
Yeah.
want to give my final thoughts. I think that we're
Yeah, because we are at an hour, and
okay.
let me just reset real quick, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button. Go ahead, and all these ladies' Instagrams are in the description. They're
Hold
on the
on.
screen. Subscribe. What?
No final thoughts yet.
No, we're
I,
not.
I still have
Well,
questions.
well, if she has to go, she has to
Well,
go. We did say an hour, but
I just want to just
go
I
ahead,
didn't
Nikki.
I would like to say that I'm also speaking from a millennial perspective, right? And
Well, I'm a millennial too, but
right. So, but I'm talking about myself, right?
okay.
I think that there is a new wave of awareness that's happening with the youth. And I think that there's like a much like that's why, there's like LGBTQ plus movements, there's feminist movements, there's BLM. There's such an awareness, and our future generations want to do the right thing so bad from a humanitarian standpoint in this country,
Hmm.
that I think that the generations after us, there's gonna in America specifically, and the progressive Americans, I believe that statistically things are going to shift. Um,
I agree.
Yeah, I think
so
I can probably agree with that.
so I think that right now, I don't know where we stand percentile wise, but I do feel like the reason men and women can't be friends is based on ignorance and rooted in ignorance. And I think that we're growing as a society, and we're heading in a good into a better place. So I
I,
have faith in our people that we're going to bridge this gap between us.
okay.
That's what I
I don't.
wanted.
I'm not sure it's based on ignorance. I think it's based more on biology. But Nikki, I definitely want to have you back on to talk about more, like more in depth into the whole societal shift thing. I would love to have a conversation with you just about that.
I think, me personally, I think the gap that's there is because people, I said this on last week's podcast. I believe that 15 years ago, before social media was really prevalent and dating apps were prevalent, we used to go and date people based off of connection and the way you made me feel. Like, oh, not only are you attractive, but like I feel a certain way around you. Like,
chemistry.
I'm gonna go and figure out now I want to figure out your life. Who are you? What do you do? Like, who's your daddy? What does he do? But seriously, these days I almost feel like people see each other.
Prematurely.
They're checking off these boxes. So like,
Yeah,
this is my personal opinion, girls. Attack me if you want. This is from women looking at men. I feel like you got to be handsome. You got to be 6 foot tall. You got to have abs. You got to have your life together. You got to have all these things. And then, if you have all these things, let's see if we have a connection. So the connection comes last now. And that's what I think.
absolutely.
I think that has a lot to do with this gap.
And I'll add to that, women's grocery list is a lot longer than men's.
Would can you? Am I crazy for that, girls?
No, I actually read an article recently that men are actually lonelier than ever now. That
100%.
men are actually struggling with dating now more than ever. And I have to further delve, because one thing you guys will learn about me as we build our relationship, and Justin and Penelope know this extremely a lot about me, is like I'm like an information addict. So I like to like
An
do a lot of,
activist.
and an activist. So I like to like do my research, and I
I
did
agree with you, Andrea.
I
like
do too, but they're a lot less than women. That's my
no,
caveat to that.
I think that right now, I think that women are also, we're in a very feminist space, and women are empowering themselves, and women are holding men more accountable. And I think that that could also be part of the reason why men are struggling a little bit,
But do you think
because
it's destroying femininity as well?
I think it's a vicious cycle. I think that there's always, in every generation, there's always a disconnect between the genders. And I think that with every year and every technological advance and every political shift, there's going to be different issues to tackle. You know, I think that the men are from Mars and women are from Venus is not a new concept. We've been trying to figure each other out forever. And I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's just going to continue to evolve into new ways of trying to figure each other out, new disconnects and new connections.
You know what's crazy though is like you girls are my friends, and I don't know if you guys are just being biased because you're my friends, but it's like I've heard from every single one of you. Nikki, you told me the sweetest words I've ever heard from you, like over the summer when you came to Jersey City. Like this girl literally was like, "Yo, you're gonna be the most amazing husband one day, just because I know the guy you are." And you, she was like, "Don't ever change who you are." Like that, I feel is like people need to get. I don't know. I, I don't even know where I'm going with it, but
I
like,
know where you're going with it, Justin, but my issue with you has always been the same. Stop looking outside of yourself for love. Empower yourself, love yourself, be the
oh,
best that you can be and
I
walk in
love myself.
stride. I know, but you tend to try to fit things that don't fit longer than they need to be. Like, fuck that bitch. Keep it moving. This is not for you. And
Yeah.
same thing for everyone in this room. Like, whether you like a male, a woman, whether you like whatever you're into, if that person isn't a fit for you, love yourself enough to recognize that and move on.
What I
And
was
I'm
gonna
not
say, hold on,
here.
I remembered. You girls, no, did I remember or did I just lose it again? Like, you girls have told me things that I actually want other women to realize about myself, but they don't take the time to even like dig past the surface.
Then that's not the
That's
right type
because
of
Justin.
person. And I know that
Oh,
that sounds so like cliche and like sounds like a quote that you would like read and like Instagram or like a book, but
Shit, they just
it's
answered that in 2 seconds.
it's really like not it's really not like the type of person that you're looking for. It's not. And I know I told you this before we started even this podcast, and it's kind of like just stepping outside your usual circle and kind of just meeting like other people that you wouldn't typically like meet, and that goes like with everything, like friendship wise and dating wise. Yeah.
Like we said last week, we have to leave the country.
Not
yeah.
even leave the country, leave Hudson County. It ain't it here.
He
Well,
already
don't come to
left
Miami then.
Miami.
Yeah, don't come to Miami
Can't
then.
get any worse than Miami.
Yeah, Miami was
It's the
bad.
word.
I
Yeah.
mean, I found love in Los Angeles, and that's
Also, by the
pretty
way,
good.
my AirPod died, so I
LA is
can't
another
hear
one of
anything.
those.
I'm just going
Can you
off
put in
what
the
you're
other
saying.
AirPod? Can you put in the other AirPod?
My phone died actually.
Oh,
Like, I'm
yeah.
very aware that my situation is like a very fortunate. I'm very fortunate because it's not easy.
Yeah, you are very fortunate, and your relationship, if it truly works the way you say, which I believe it does, is does not nearly represent the majority of people. It's something exceptional, I would say. All right, let's. We're at a min. We're at an hour 20. So let me go ahead and let's do final thoughts. You are watching the J&J
Hold on.
Dating Dynamics podcast.
Bro,
Go
Uh,
through
don't you
them
out of here. I'm
quickly.
trying to answer my questions, bro.
oh, you got more questions?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were having a
He's
moment,
like,
and
I can't
I
believe
was gonna end it on the rosy glow, but go ahead.
All right, guys, make them quick. This is for the girls. I just want
Lightning
like
round.
quick answers from you. Yeah, lightning round. All right, how do women view a man of interest that has female friends?
Like a man of interest.
like exactly. If anything, if somebody can have like substantial female friends and they're like actually his friends and they value him and they treat him with respect, to me that's actually gonna like speak volumes of like his character.
Cool.
It's gonna say like this person is actually somebody like respectful and like it's gonna say something about him. So
Salo?
I
I actually didn't really get it.
So let's say your boyfriend had female friends when you first started dating. Like, what would you think of that?
Um, I mean, perfectly normal. I have a bunch of guy friends, especially me, motorcycle, you know, perfectly normal.
All right. All right, quick next question. Um, do you think anything less of a man when he becomes your friend?
I think more of a man.
Because I feel like this is something that men need to understand out there, that it is okay to be friends with women and it is okay to practice self-control, but I'm not sure that'll happen.
I think more of a man, 1,000%. I respect him more. I admire him more. I want him. I want to hook him up with my friends. I want to get him laid as much as possible. I think amazing things about a man who's capable of respecting women and being friends.
Penny?
I co-sign that statement. Of course, like anyone that's going to take the time to get to know me on a deeper level as a person definitely deserves, my respect. So, yeah.
Salud.
Trust me, having a bad bitch as your best friend, it can get you a lot of pussy. The same.
Hey, you're slacking in that department.
You live far away.
Any more on
um,
this? Let's go.
Salud.
Lightning.
And the same of a man I thought he was before, and my respect doesn't change whether he's my friend or not.
Okay. All right. So, what are some things that some guys out there can do to get out of the friend zone?
Nothing.
Initiative,
Very little.
initiative.
My boyfriend now was my friend for years, and then we
How,
ended up.
how'd he get out?
It wasn't even him or me. It was like a bunch of our friends were pushing us on each other for a while, and then
I don't even know this story yet.
both of us were like, "Ew, no, bro, no." He didn't want to stop fucking my friends. I didn't want to stop fucking his friends, and then they just kept pushing us on each other. And then we started having conversations about it. It took a while. It was a slow burn, but we'll talk about that in private. But yes, a guy could get out of the friend zone. There's be a good friend, be a noble, integrity, dope ass dude,
Just
and
be a good dude.
be a
And
Good
dope
human.
dude.
initiative. And like, if you want something, go about it the right way, not in like a sleazy way. Go about things like the right way. Like, if you actually want something, like, be intentional and you know, like
So, in other
plan
words,
something.
don't
And
be
I
the
would agree
sneaky
with
friend.
that. I
Don't
would
be the
agree
sneaky
with
friend that's
Oh, no,
like
wait, let her
waiting.
talk. Let her talk. Let her talk. What were you saying?
I
Kat?
agree with all of that, but about themselves. Go out there and show initiative about your life, you personal, your goals. Nothing to do with me. I don't want them to show me what they can do for me. I want to see what they can do for themselves. And that's what's going to change
True.
whether I want to have more with them or not.
I think it's important at this point to underline that one of the main bases for this podcast is that Justin and I disagree massively on a lot of things. The friend zone being one of them. I believe it, and I know because I've seen it and I've lived it. It's extremely hard to get out of the friend zone. It is doable, but it's extremely hard.
I think that you
And
got to
and
stop.
usually, and 90% of the time, being a good guy won't do it.
I think that stop trying to get out of the friend zone and let the girl be cool with being her friend, and there will be so many benefits that come from that. And if you get out of the friend zone, it'll happen organically.
But that's the thing. Once a guy thinks about sex with you, he's not going to stop thinking about it.
That's his
That's
fucking
just the way our brains work. That's a reality.
Gotcha. All right, next
Who
question,
is
guys.
CA? Can we clear that question that CA just wrote? Because
Let's
I think
see.
we
The
all have
question
very
was,
different lifestyles, actually.
I think that is a very biased because of age. You guys are all friends and lifestyle. CA,
We
if you can
actually,
kind of clarify and expand on that a little bit, I'll put it up on the screen and we'll address it. Justin, go ahead.
Um, you guys don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Have you guys ever slept with a friend? And if you have, are you still friends? Joel?
I have. No,
No.
I haven't. No, I don't. I don't keep female friends.
Okay. If any of you guys want to answer,
At the
I
moment, I'm not friends with any guy that I've slept with.
okay.
I'm friends with my exes. I'm friends with people I've slept with. Yeah, I keep it cool.
I'm friends with people that I have slept with, but I'm also not friends with certain people that I haven't slept with. So it's gone both ways for me, but I still am friends with people that I have slept with.
Got you. All right, I'm out of questions.
All right, then with that, let's do final thoughts. And I want to reiterate that Justin and I disagree on a lot of things on this podcast. That's the whole basis for this. Okay, so let's start with Salo. Salo, final thoughts.
Oh God, I'll go last.
I know we talked about a lot. Just try to condense it to one final overarching thought that you want to communicate.
I think it's just a very personal thing with your relationship, and once you set those boundaries in any relationship, you really go from there. You gotta be understanding in both cases and take each side of the stories, each side of their situations serious with
Very
respect.
good. Let's go to Penny. But sorry, Penelope.
Thank you. Final thoughts. Just I think everybody brought like really solid points. Like Joelle, like I understood what you like a lot of the stuff you said. Nikki, of course, Justin. But my final thoughts are, of course, like set boundaries, transparency, respect, major thing. I do think that in terms of like where men and women stand in the world, even though it's 2022, there's still like a lot of work that needs to be done in order for us to try and like communicate better. And just overall as people, I think our overall progression, like, we just need to listen to each other better and just communicate better.
Nikki?
I can't get over the fact that you just said you don't keep girls as friends, and my brain just
I
went
don't.
down a rabbit hole. And I just want to know why. I just want to know why. I want to understand. Like, I
Because
want
I have much better and much deeper friendships with men.
why.
Because it's just different. I can guarantee you, Justin talks about different things with me than he would with you. Well, maybe not with you because he's known you since first grade, but with most
No,
female
you're
friends.
absolutely right. That's why I have men and women friends. Like
Absolutely.
most of my friends are men, but I have a select group
Look,
of women that I'm friends with.
let me clear it up. I have a lot of females or women that I'm very friendly with that I know, like Salo. I'll see you at a biker event. I'll give you a big hug. We'll hang out all night. We'll have a beer. We'll have fun. But the truth is, after that, till the next time I see you, you know, I have
Yeah.
a lot of female friends like that. Most of them are pretty hot. If they called me to pull up, I'd probably pull up. So I don't consider them friends.
So, what was your definition of friendship again, Joelle?
I actually never defined it. My definition of friendship is, it's kind of hard to put into words. It's like the old, what's the thing? The old pornography adage. You don't know exactly what it is, but you know it when you see it. I think a true friend, I'll be able to, like I said at the very start, I'll be able to pull up at his house at 2 in the morning with a dead body in the trunk, and he's gonna help me bury it or cover it up instead of calling the cops or telling me to get the fuck off his doorstep.
So you're
Justin, I would
very
do that with.
picky. So you're
I'm
very
sorry.
picky. So you're
I
very
am. I'm extremely picky with my friends. Yes.
right. So you don't have a lot of friends, even if they're that are
So you're
men.
basically saying loyalty.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get to know him a little bit better.
No, I have a ton of acquaintances and people who I'm very friendly with, work friends,
I'm talking
et
about
cetera. But
male
true
friends.
friends, I have maybe five, six people that I can truly know I can count on.
So you have a bunch of male and female acquaintances, but you only have male friends.
Yes.
Have you ever had a female friend?
Yes, until I realized that they were benefiting from our relationship a lot more than I was.
How,
And
The
how?
plot thickens.
also,
We were supposed to be doing final thoughts. We can do an
Yeah, I'm
episode two.
kidding.
No, but so
This is interesting.
Yeah.
it was a situation where, let's put it this way, I never approached a woman with the intent of just being friends. I always, approach with sexual or romantic interest. And at that point, you get friend zoned. And I think it's happened to most guys. Justin, it's probably happened to you. You get friend zoned and you end up saying, okay, fine, I'll be the best friend you've ever had. We've all done it. I think every man has done that. And, you're just trying, she tells you things like, you're not Mr.
I
Right
don't think I've
now.
ever
You're just
done
Mr.
that.
Right. I'm sure you have. You just don't
so,
realize
so
it.
I've gotten friend zoned, but I haven't
I have another question for you, Joelle.
Yeah.
Why have you never approached a woman with the intention of starting with a friendship?
Because why would I?
Why wouldn't you?
If I'm going to approach a woman, it's for one reason
No,
and
but
one
that's what I'm
reason
saying.
only.
But do you? I'm asking you a question. Why wouldn't you?
I just haven't found anybody interesting enough to talk to that has developed into a friend.
So my question for you.
I've never had enough common interest with a woman to be just platonic friends. It just hasn't happened.
Okay, so can I ask you another question? Have you ever been in a serious relationship?
Yes, I've been married. I've been in 3 year long relationship. Yeah, I've been in very serious relationships.
Okay, so they're interesting enough only when sex is involved. Because you just said they're not interesting enough. Do you ever question if maybe it didn't last because you had no friendship and no common interest other than sex?
Not once.
Okay, so I have more questions for you because this is so good. Why haven't you found anybody interesting enough as a woman to be friends with? What do you need? What do you need in order to be interested in a person?
I don't know. I don't have a checklist. Friendships don't work that way. You don't approach somebody with a checklist. Okay, you can be my friend. You approach somebody, you talk to them, you have whatever happens, and then that develops from there. I've just never felt the need to develop it any further, and they haven't either because they haven't come back at me with it.
But my
I've
question,
never socialized with a woman enough to where it evolved into something platonic that we
why?
talked every week and we became close.
Why?
I don't know, because that's just the way my life has worked out.
Why don't you try to unpack that for us since we're having a podcast? Have you ever thought a little deeper into the why?
Bro, you know what it's like to go out with one of my homegirls to try and go get
Is it
girls
like
for you?
this?
Like, yeah, I haven't done it with any of these girls, but I think, bro, me and Lady Live have gone out. Me and a couple other homegirls
No,
have
no,
gone out,
I
and like they're like, "Come on, we're gonna go fucking look for bitches tonight." And I'm like, "Yeah, I love you. Let's go."
Yeah, we all
my
do that. That
my
we've all done.
my
No,
question.
what you've done that with your male friends. You've
Of
never done
course.
that with a female because you
But
haven't
I
had
don't
that
think that
friendship.
that's like what Nikki's like talking about.
I'm literally trying to
It,
unpack.
she's trying to see like why he can't connect with like a female. Like
Where is the trauma? What is the
I'm trying
trauma?
to understand because what you don't see, Joel, that everybody else can see, and you can't see it, and maybe when you replay the podcast, you'll see it. Is that there's a block there? There's definitely a block there, and I'm trying to understand the reason why, because you literally just said on a podcast for everybody to hear that you have no, like, why would you be friends with a woman? Like, there's nothing interesting about a woman if sex is not involved. So
that's wild.
that's literally, you just said that. You said there's literally nothing interesting about a woman if there's no sex involved. So I want to understand, why do you think there's nothing interesting
I'm
about
not
a
saying
woman?
there's nothing interesting about
You
any
just
woman.
said that. You just said
Obviously,
that.
he
I'm not
said
No,
he
I'm
has
saying
no desire
what I'm
to
saying is
pursue
I've
a
never
platonic
found.
relationship with a woman.
right, and I'm
Yeah,
not.
I've never
outside
found
of
that
like
interest.
And
I've never
I'm
found that
not.
interest.
And I'm
And
not.
and I do believe being friends with a woman while you're in a relationship is wildly inappropriate.
so.
Well, we're not
So
talking
what
about
was
that.
the
We're talking
foundation of your
about.
marriage like then? If there
Say
was no
again?
friendship there,
Say again?
Right. So I'm interested in understanding this. It's like, what if you take sex out of the picture, right?
Uh-huh.
What There's literally nothing that a woman has to offer you.
I've never said that.
I'm asking you. What
No,
value do you,
no, of course there is. Salo rides motorcycles. I love that about her, and we hang out when it comes to motorcycles. But that
okay.
doesn't mean we have to be friends for life. I mean, I don't really get what you're trying to get to here. I
No,
understand that maybe I'm a little different than the type of man you've met. You're, like I said, you're still very young, but that's
no,
the way reality
I've
works.
met all kinds
Most
of.
men don't keep female friends.
no, I'm just curious. So like when you were married, so like what was like the foundation outside of like what did you guys like? What foundation did you have if there was no friendship in the marriage?
Well, her and I were friends before we got married. See,
Nah.
I was a don't get, I was a very different person.
So there was a friendship.
I was a very different person
Ah,
15 years ago. I was a very different person
there you
15 years
go.
ago.
So there is a
Okay.
friendship. There had to
There
be
was a friendship,
So
and
when he
guess what?
pursues a friend, he pursues too hard, and they become into
No,
a
but
relationship.
So
take
there
a
is
guess at why
always,
the
so
marriage
what you're saying is that there's an
no,
ulterior motive.
not necessarily. I'm saying guess why the marriage didn't work out.
Why?
because we knew our pasts all too well.
Cause what?
We knew our pasts all too well.
So
And when I started,
rather than each other's pasts and the fact that you knew each other's past making you guys more secure, it made you guys insecure.
yeah, absolutely.
It weakened the bond
Both,
instead of
both of
strengthening.
you, or
Let me make it 100% clear. Her and I were never in love. We were more in love with the idea of being married than we were in love with each other. Okay? So even if we hadn't been friends, maybe that marriage wouldn't have worked out.
Hmm.
Okay? All right, sorry. We're at an hour and a half now. Nikki, any final thoughts? I'll bring it back to
I'm
that.
just,
Or was
I'm
that
just,
your final salvo?
That was
sorry.
my final thought.
Um, nope, no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I'm
I,
the one that feels like I'm on the
I
stand. I'm the one that feels like I'm on the
For
stand.
real,
But
you got
Nikki,
grilled there for a second.
No, and
Penny.
I just want to say, but to be very clear, I was not trying to judge you or put you on the
Oh,
hot
okay.
seat or make you feel any type of way. No, in fact, I believe, and this is my final thought, each and every one of us is coming from our own unique set of experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's extremely difficult to put blanket statements on topics like this, because every single person has their own trajectory, trauma, beliefs, rules, and all of those things. So I, again, like I said, I didn't think this was a majority conversation. I thought we were just sharing our own beliefs on from our own
And that's
lenses.
perfectly fair.
Do you
Right.
think maybe that might be the thing missing in that gap? A way to bridge that gap is that people aren't being friends first. Like, all right, like
No,
Nikki,
I don't necessarily think
let's
that's a good
take me and
idea.
Nikki for example. If I'm interested in Nikki and I want to be friends, but I also want to enter a relationship with her eventually, but like, yo, let's enjoy things together. It's like obviously there's a sexual attraction when you're giving it to somebody. Like you obviously there's interest there, but like I don't think people are enjoying things with each other anymore. Like
I wouldn't date somebody that wasn't capable of seeing me outside of sex first.
that's what I'm saying. But
I
like
wouldn't.
do
Personally.
things that the man's interested in, do things that you're interested, like me, for instance. Yo, let's go rock climbing, let's go for a hike, let's go to a concert, let's have fun and enjoy each other's company. I feel like maybe that's missing and people just jump straight to the sex.
Well, that's the thing is chemistry and compatibility are both very necessary for a relationship, and most people only focus on the chemistry part.
Well, a lot of people just aren't willing to do the work. That's the problem.
Sorry,
A lot
Nikki,
of
by
people.
chemistry, do you mean sexual chemistry?
Yeah, physical chemistry, like physical attractiveness
Hmm.
is a huge part of it, but also compatibility and do you guys fit? And
Exactly.
sometimes
Huge.
people will get so caught up on the physical chemistry that they will neglect the compatibility aspect of it, and that's how come relationships end up becoming extremely toxic. Now, me personally, I can speak for my relationship. My boyfriend is my best friend in the whole world. I know I have hooked him up with so many bitches. We have had sex with the same women. Like we have such a dope close bond that literally nothing threatens me. Nothing that he does or feels or thinks or wants threatens me because I know his character and I've studied him and spent so much time enjoying him as a human being outside of sex for so long that I know his character, I know his heart, I know how he chooses,
You guys have a foundation.
I know how he moves when he's stressed, I know how he moves when he's not stressed. I know what I'm dealing with. I know the monster I'm dealing with. And it fits me. So, and I was not expecting to ever bang him. Trust me, this was out of nowhere. So, yeah,
All right, my
everybody's
final
situation is
thought.
different.
Thank you, Nikki. My final thought is I think we had a great discussion here. I think we're all able to have a civilized debate. Uh, Nikki, what you said about not judging me, I just want to make it 100% clear. I do not mind being judged. And
I don't give a fuck.
please note that I am judging all of you. I may keep it to myself, but my tattoo right here in Hebrew says judge and prepare to be judged. Okay? So I don't mind that at all.
Wow.
Justin, final thoughts, bro.
You need Jesus.
My final thoughts
I'm Jewish.
are
And by the way, Jesus was Jewish.
And Jews don't believe in hell, so we can't even scare him with anything.
Nope.
so
Go ahead, Justin.
my final thoughts, obviously, we have all these girls in here. They're my friends. So I do believe, on very rare cases, a strong man, a strong man can be friends with a woman. In the majority of cases, I don't think it's possible. In the majority, and I think that needs to change. Like, I think people need to be open to each other more.
And with that, I do want to say I would love to have all of you three lovely ladies back.
Salo, final
I
thoughts,
did,
Salo?
Salo already gave her
I
final thoughts.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, but that is a good
When?
one.
An hour ago?
Yeah,
And you need God then.
An
Yeah,
hour
sorry.
ago?
After her final thoughts, I got put on the stand.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Anyway,
I got.
with that, ladies, I
It's a
want to have
good
all
one
three
though.
of you. I want to have all three of you back on. Absolutely. I would love to actually go back through some of the topics we've already
Yeah,
discussed and
girls,
discuss them with you girls.
you girls
Thank
are
you
my
all so
friends.
much for
I
coming
know you
on.
guys were a little weary about coming on here for the first time, but I hope now that you see, like, it's just I'm just trying to get the conversation and spread awareness and get rid of the disconnect between men and women for real. That's the
All
whole
right, so
purpose of this. But
please
I want to
hit the
go.
like button.
Yeah,
What?
I want
Really?
the after you're done, Joel. Go
Yeah.
through that. I want each girl to shout out their Instagram, and
Oh yeah,
Nikki
yeah,
shout
do
out
do it now, please, because I was about to
her
hit the button.
artist
So
page.
yeah, please. Let's start with Nikki. Give everybody the info. The 411.
It's right there on the bottom left-hand corner at
There's
Nikki
her
Burton.
Instagram, and I will put the
I
links
do
to
not
all
want
these
to shout out
Instagrams
my
under the screen.
Instagram, so.
It's already
Hey,
on the
I
screen.
I seen your Instagram. I can put it on the screen.
I, do I have to?
No, you
What?
don't have to.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I'm just like,
All right.
yeah. See,
All right. Cool.
thank you, everybody.
All
Love.
right.
Peace and
Thank
love.
you all so much. Please do not click off the studio. Stay for 1 minute, okay? Thank you all very much. Please hit the
Guys,
like button and subscribe.
please subscribe to our channel. It
Yeah.
helps us out so much. Hit that like button. It really helps out the algorithm, and we'll be seeing way more. We want to get the word out. Please help us spread the word.
Every Wednesday and Sunday, 8:05 p.m. Thank you all.